I'll just stand right here in the middle of the road. You try to get behind me, I guess. Yeah. There we go. Whee! Finally died. What is up, my fellow alcoholics, and welcome to the channel. And with today's update, it pretty much dropped a little bit of weapon balancing, if not a lot of weapon balancing. And a couple of guns got some nerfs, a couple of guns got a lot of buffs, and one of the guns that got a buff was the Holger-26, which I'll go over with you guys right now, the loadout, to make it the G36 and make it the proper G36 at that too. So for the barrel, I ran the XRK ultralight barrel for the ADS time. You can run the Spitfire, but I would recommend that for the much smaller maps, like maybe Shipment and whatnot. But the ultralight does fine, and it also gives it that G36 look. I went with the tac laser for the ADS time itself. You can run the 5 milliwatt for the hip fire accuracy and the sprint to fire speed, but the ADS is where it counts in this gun. Stipple grip for the rear grip for the ADS and for the sprint to fire speed. And then I ran the 30 round mags for pretty much all of its pros and only one con, and it also gives it that G36 look as well, which one of the pros being reload quickness. I'll get into that a little later. And then the underbarrel, I ran the operator foregrip for the recoil control. You can run the Merc foregrip for those smaller maps to tighten up your hip fire spread, but the operator foregrip does just fine. And then going to the secondary. Now the secondary, I run the Renetti still. It's still a really, really good pistol. It did have a couple nerfs to it, especially in hipfire, and then of course running the akimbo. It also has less damage than before, but it's still a pretty good pistol. I mean, you should be using it up close anyway, so it shouldn't really matter. And then I always run specialist, and then a Semtex and a stun grenade for my tactical. Now getting into the G36 conversion. With all the buffs that happened to the Holger got a bunch of mobility buffs, and that's mostly ADS time, its movement speed, its sprint to fire speed got a buff. So pretty much they made it more of a contender for that mid-range gunfight and kind of like AR versus LMG kind of status. You still can run it as an LMG, as long as you leave the standard barrel on it, and then of course leaving the 100 round magazine. And it's still a viable gun. It's still really useful, and you'll have that LMG range and style where you can just lay down a bunch of fire and hold down a position, you know. So, but getting into the conversion, honestly, if there was one thing that I can fix with the conversion to make it the G36 and pretty much make it the AR that it can be, there's one thing I would fix, it would be to get rid of that reload quickness. Now that reload quickness, I personally do not feel a difference with that reload quickness to that magazine on the 30 round mag. I would have probably replaced that with like a higher fire rate. Now something not too crazy, but just a little bit quicker fire rate to kind of keep up with like the M13 and keep up with the M4. I was still getting melted by M4s, but I mean, it's just that's just the best gun in the game. I mean, hands down. But this will give it a run for its money. There were some M4 users that I was beating to the punch because of all the ADS time that I had, but the gun still pretty much, the M4 just melted me. It's still a pretty competitive gun. But the G36 conversion is a lot of fun, and I highly suggest you guys use it. It'll definitely help for those of you that are going for obsidian, and those of you that are going for the gold first and platinum and all that. It's worth giving a try. I have to say that, definitely. And it also just kind of brings me back to those Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare days. I use the G36 a lot in that game. But a lot of the gameplay you're seeing in the background is on Hard Hat. Hard Hat also dropped today as this video came out. And also Aisle 9, which is pretty much a aisle in Superstore that you can use for gunfight. And then it also has like a mosh pit playlist for gunfight, or not necessarily gunfight, but for Aisle 9, which I only had a chance to get into one game, which will be at the end of this video. You'll see that entire game of domination, and it was a lot of fun. It was very hectic though, but it was like a 3-on-3. So anyway, I'll stop rambling on. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was very useful. If it was useful and you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And don't forget the notification bell for future uploads and streams. Enjoy the rest of this video. Enjoy this Aisle 9 gameplay, and I'll catch you guys next time.